So, hello everybody. Hello and welcome to Marley's Chronicles. I hadn't been uploading videos lately, but I'm still on my journey to healing. And I'm over in the country visiting my grandmother today, and I wanted to just share some thoughts with you about um, dealing with your childhood traumas or your situations that brought you to this point in your life, whatever point you are as of right now, whatever mindset you're in as of right now. There were instances, there were experiences, there were things to bring you to this point. And be it positive, be it negative, those things kind of uh, shaped you to who you are today. And I just wanted to share just a little bit of my thoughts about that. Um, as I've talked about so many times on my other videos, and just, randomly talking to people, that your traumas that you dealt with as a child, the abuse, whatever form it came in, shapes you. You're not aware that it has such an impact on your life at that time. But as you grow, as you get older, you start to see that your thoughts, your mindset, the way you handle things in life, all goes back to when you were that little girl or that little boy, and uh, how you were treated and how you reacted to that treatment. There are some people that go through isolation, uh, and they feel like that's the best way to handle their situations. And that's a subconscious thing because, when they were abused or whatever, they felt like, well, if I can pull myself away from it, then it won't happen to me. If I can just pull myself inside of myself, I can take my mind away. And even though it is happening, it's not happening. It's sort of like, just taking your mind out of the situation, so you don't have to deal with it. And that uh, doing that one act as a child, as a teenager, every time circumstances come up in your life, as an adult, you adopt that as a problem solving tool, but it is not a healthy tool. How do I know? Been there, done that. I used isolation. I think I started my first video um telling you guys that uh depression and all of that and isolation was one of the main things that showed up as a symptom of my depression. And I didn't wasn't aware that it was hurting me until, oh well, hurting me and hurting others, until I spoke to one of my friends. And she told me that, we hate to see you go through that. Then I started making better choices. But I used isolation as a tool to get me through the day, to get me through whatever funk I was in for that period. And I was able to admit to myself that that wasn't a healthy tool. I was able to see it as it really was, because when you try to handle your own situations without the right tools, you're going to think, okay, it's been working all these years for me. This is the way I need to go. But the fact is, when truth comes to your face and tells you that this is not healthy, this is not producing anything but negativity, not just within yourself, but with others too, then you have the choice. You not only do you have the choice, you have the responsibility to make better choices. You have that responsibility to do that. And that's what happened to me. Isolation is not your friend. any type of tool you've decided to use other than facing it head on, that's not your friend. That's not your friend. People love you. People want to support you. People want to be there for you. You may think, well, this one isn't there, but give people a chance. They want to help you. They hate if people love you and they don't want to see you in that frame of mind or that way of thinking, and they want to pull you out. Allow people to love on you. Allow people to help you. You know the ones that's in your corner. You know the ones that want to see you prosper. You know the ones that want to see you successful. Allow, and I think I said this on another video as well, allow that love to come into you so you can be healed. I know you're tired of going through. I know you've experienced this over and over and over again. But guess what? The time is now. The time is now for you to look at the trauma. Stop running away from the trauma. Look at it, deal with it, and move forward. It's not as painful as it is in your memory. It's not as bad as you think. Open up. Let go. Let go. The first step, I have never been to an AA meeting or CA or NA or any other type of anonymous meeting, but I would think that the first step to overcoming any type of negative addiction is to admit the truth. Admit that you have a problem. If you don't admit that you have a problem, you will stay in denial and you will never ever be delivered. You will never be healed. You will never be set free. If you don't admit it to the world, admit it to yourself. Have your little conversation with yourself. If you find yourself hating to be alone, that's because you're hating to be alone with those thoughts that's going to bring you to that healing place. If you hate to be with yourself, then you can have to automatically know something is not right. If you're always trying to find something to do, always trying to find somewhere to go or to be around people and not happy with yourself, you have to know if that's not a sign that something deeper is going on with you. I don't know what else could be a sign to tell you your childhood issues comes up in your life, and by the time you get to this age, your 40s or your 50s, probably even younger than that, they start to choke you because they are ready to come out. You've dealt with this. You've experienced this long enough. It's time for a change in your life. It's time for a change. First step, and this will be, maybe I'll try to do this like a first step, next thing you do. So this will be dedicating to that first step. Admit what happened to you. Admit that there was trauma. Even if you're just admitting to yourself, admit it, say it. I was molested. I was abandoned. I was beaten. I was locked up as a child. I was mistreated. Whatever the case is, say it. However ugly it sounds, open your mouth and say it to yourself. If you want to make a video of it just so you can say it out loud and then delete the video, do that. If you want to write it down on paper, do that. But admit to yourself that you have been traumatized. That's that first step. That's the first step to overcoming your addiction. And again, addiction is not just drugs and alcohol. Depression was my addiction. That was my drug of choice. You may have people have other than alcohol and drugs as their drug. People have being promiscuous as their drug of choice. People have shopping. People have eating. People have things that we think is natural. And whatever your addiction is, your obsession is, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Your first step is to admit that there is a problem. And again, being transparent is not for everybody, but if that's your calling, tell it to help somebody else, because you are not the only one to go through. You're not the only one to deal with abuse in whatever form. Admit that there is a problem and start to heal. That's your first step to healing. You have to face it. You've been fighting for years and years and years not to look at it, not to deal with it, because it is just the memory of it is too painful. But you have to say it. You have to admit that you did not have that perfect home that you are portraying. That's not a big deal. I don't know of a perfect family, because there are no perfect people. We're all dysfunctional in one way or another. Love yourself enough to admit that there's a problem, and that will put you on the road to health, to a healthy mental being, to a healthy spiritual being, to a healthy even physical being. Because when you hold all that old decaying abuse of what happened in you for years and years, it has no choice but to start showing up in a physical form. Free yourself. Get on this journey. Admit that there was a problem in your childhood. And this is the funny part about it. You're helping yourself. You're not throwing a shame blanket on your family, because most of the people know anyway. They just, won't say anything. You go for your health. You do whatever it takes for you to be mentally healthy, to be free spiritually, to be able to enjoy this beautiful life that God has given us. You can't do that with a cloud of depression, with the cloud of suicidal thoughts, with the cloud of, I hate myself, I hate my life. You can't do that with that. Your first step is to admitting that there was abuse in my childhood. Something's wrong. You have to say, it is not everybody's fault. Take responsibility. It is not everybody's fault. If you come in contact with everybody around you is saying the same thing, those people aren't gathering together to lie on you. It's time for you to start looking at yourself. Stop playing a victim. Stop looking at, oh, they hate me. Oh, they're against me. No, people love you and they want to help you, but you are going to have to take some responsibility. Your first step is to admit that there is a problem. Your first step is to admit that there is a problem. I love you. This is Marley's Chronicles. Again, I apologize for having not been on for a while, and but I've been still going through my routine. The depression, the seasonal depression, because I took those steps. It's back. It's far back, but still there is a journey, because I was abused as a child. I was molested. I was abandoned as a child. And those two main issues creep into my life as an adult from time to time. It's just like once you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking, there's still an upkeep. You still have to realize, look, I am an alcoholic and I can't do a lot of things that I used to do. There are triggers. There are things that will set you back. There are things in any type of abuse to your mind, to your body, there are triggers. So you have to stay healthy. You have to stay aware of who you are and where you're going. Admit to yourself that there is a problem. It's not everybody else. It is you. Take responsibility for yourself. I love you. Marley Chronicles. I'm sharing with you my journey, sharing with you my daily journal, my weekly journal, my monthly journal, whatever it is. I'm sharing it with you to help myself, to get it out of me, to talk, and also to help somebody else, because we are not alone in this world. We are not alone. What I'm going through, there's probably thousands of others that have gone through, and sad to say that we'll go through the same thing. So God bless you all. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, if you have any uh, things you want to talk about, inbox me. Message me. Write in the comments if you need to leave your email, and I'll message you. But let's heal together. Let's heal together. No man is an island. Let's heal together. I'm love you. Are y'all enjoying this beautiful scenery in the back? That's country living for you. God bless you. Love yourself enough to admit that there is a problem. Marley's Chronicles. Subscribe, like, and share. God bless you.